I'm Sandy, and I've been a member at First Plymouth for the past 32 years. I think the Racial Equity Task Force is primarily charged with promoting awareness on a number of fronts. Awareness of the history that we often neglect in the minority communities that exist here locally and nationally. We have been running a film series on a fairly continuous basis for the past half dozen years. I think those films have been very beneficial in understanding things that, due to our white privilege, we don't really have to understand in our daily lives to enjoy the privileges that come with being white. At the beginning, we had to accomplish prerequisite, really, was getting this church to become officially a racial equity church, which it is, and one of the first in the community to enjoy that designation. We have been able to enjoy both through the Soul Food Sunday that we have coming up here. We have been able to enjoy some of the riches and the contributions made by those leaders in the minority community. We've also had visiting ministers from as far away as New York City come and lead services. They bring a different kind of spirit to the worship service. I taught a course in white privilege to learn about white privilege. And I learned by hearing other people's perspectives, other people's stories, other people's vulnerability. We don't use the word guilt, but I think we all feel as if we perhaps grew up in circumstances that allowed us not to see what was going on, especially in schools in which there might be only a handful of minority students. And it taught me about how ignorant I was in growing up and making assumptions that weren't correct. I'm in the sports communication field, and so I've had dealings with people from a variety of backgrounds. And I think in our society today, there's altogether too much talking, too much defensiveness, and not enough listening, and not nearly enough vulnerability. An acknowledgement of the things we don't know. What I discovered in covering sports was that the most uninhibited people were those who had gone through more hardship than I ever experienced growing up, and were willing to speak their truth and tell their stories. They were authentic. They were always available, whether the Broncos won or lost. I always found that the black athletes were much more willing to speak. I think of Haven Moses. I think of Lewis Wright in particular, Alex English of the Nuggets as well. Far more interesting in the telling of their life story than I could ever have been telling mine.